Taoist Magic Talk Show brought to you by Taoist Master จี师傅 and 天日 Dragon Taoism ผู้亮天尊 Hi everyone, welcome back to the show. This is your G Sifu right here, and today is a very exclusive, cool, amazing, outstanding episode. Today we're gonna have this thing which I decided to name it the reverse engineering of magic, because we want to talk about how magic actually works. And well, a lot of people don't understand it because no one actually talked about it. And the one who knows definitely don't want you to know about it. So we are going to expose how magic actually work. Okay? So magic is using the power of the gods. But a lot of you have this wrong concept of God. Like God is like one God somewhere high above, and everyone just asks that God for help. You know, like there's one God high above, everyone shares the same connection, the same, like, you know, just you talk to the same guy, ask that same guy for help. That is the common understanding of God. So they think, well, I believe this God, so I'm supposed to get his help, and, you know, I just talk to him. And then, oh, you believe that God too? Okay, oh, so we believe in the same God? No, you're not believing in the same God, okay? It doesn't work like that. So no matter what religion, it's the same thing, okay? It's the same thing. It's like the same formula going everywhere. So how does it actually work? Okay, let's talk about way back in times when people don't have any big organized religion. How does these things get started? Okay, we're going backward, right? Reverse engineering. So how does it work? How does the, you know, like the ancient people, how do they start having these kind of practice? You know what? It's actually part of what we human being can do naturally. It's not like something that hard. So, how does it work? Well, you see, when you have the faith, which is a blind belief for something, you know, I have faith in this child. By himself, he'll be fine at the house, inside the house tonight, and I'm going to be gone. I never tried it before, but I just believe him. That kind of belief is faith, okay? When you have faith for something to happen, your heart energy is being invested into who you have faith with or what you have faith with. For example, let's say you have a desire, a hope for something. I hope this year the pumpkin will grow big, like that, right? You hope. So you have faith in that. You have faith, right? So what will you do? You will do whatever it takes to grow the pumpkins, and you will believe that it will come out big and good and tasty. That's what people do, right? That's what farmer does. So, however, just the faith cannot hold itself. There needs to be a container, right? So people then have to find, like, they sense the need to find a container for that. So what do? Well, let's say the farmer believe that the land is so important. So they start worshiping what they call a land god. Okay, God of the land, of the ground. So, oh, God of the ground, please help us. We have faith that you will protect the land this year. You'll make everything go well, and so on, right? You do all your prayers and put your faith into this God that you just created. This is actually a natural form of magic. Everyone can do it even today. Even you can do it, okay? You just need to have a container. And that container doesn't need to be anything in history. That means what? you can create your own God as well, because it doesn't need to be something that is already created. Like, it's like, who's the first guy that came up with the thing, right? So, okay, now, these people created their own God. It's like a profile, right? Then they start to build the profile. How do they build? How is this container getting more and more power inside it? Oh, very simple. Okay, they make wishes, they make requests, and they let this God do stuff for them. Oh, please help us to, have a good summer. Please help us to have a good winter, like that. And this is the key, okay? And it also applies to every disciples in my lineage as well, okay? So listen, pay attention. So whenever anything you ask for help, and then it happened, okay? Like it came true, right? Then you need to give the credit to the God and say, oh, thank you for helping me. You need to believe that it is the God that is doing it. You might, okay, I know what you're thinking. You might think, well, yeah, I wish the God, for example, I prayed to the God this morning that today I'll have a good and safe, happy day, okay? And then, well, you came home and you're like, okay, happy, and you didn't get sick or whatever, right? So, yeah, it came true. But you might say, but if I didn't ask the God for help, I might have the same day too. Like my friend is happy and fine when they go home. They don't have a God. Okay, you know what? This is exactly the thing that you don't understand, okay? It's not like it's not like, oh, it is the God that is helping. That is why you need to think. No, it's not like that, okay? You are giving the credit to the God. It's like, even it is not the God doing anything, you are giving that credit to the God. You say, oh, today this happened, I asked for it, right? You have to ask for it first. You ask for it, it happened. Oh, thanks to God. Okay, you see that cycle? So when you do that, what are you doing? You're giving your heart, your trust and faith to the God. And that is energy. That is the pre-heaven energy. You're giving it to the God when you show your gratitude for whatever you got. And because of that, the profile will build up. Over time, it builds up. And then as you go more like into the practice of like you constantly doing this kind of thing, that profile, that container will have more and more and more investment from you, which are all these credit that you have been building up on, right? These are how people build their power with the God. Okay, let's talk about our disciples, okay? So for our disciples, if you, let's say you got an altar, right? And there's a God on your altar. The first God, we call them the 祖師, okay? So the 祖師, 三羅祖師 at your altar, okay? So you have the first God right there. But you don't use it, you don't ask for help, you don't do anything with it, that God, it's not going to grow. It's still like at the same stage when it was there at the first day. It's not going to get stronger. So here is a little smart way to do it. Every morning when you go to the altar, you burn incense and greet and stuff, right? Make sure you say something like this. Okay, Disciple Tinix is here to say good morning. Please enjoy the tea. And then you need to add, please help me. Today I have this to do. Please help me to have a good day, successful with this, and so on. Make some wishes, make some requests. And then throughout the day, you also need to try your best to make that wish happen. It's like you wish for a better grade for your test, okay? Doesn't mean you don't study. It means that you have to study even harder so that your God is going to have that check mark. You are building up your God not the God building you, right? You got to understand that. The God itself start with like you have an empty wallet. You need to build the money into the wallet. That's the first stage. So when you are beginning to build your God, you cultivate your God, right? You have to be the one that make the God like be successful. Like you ask for the God to help you to make this happen. You have to try your best to make that happen too, while the God is doing their part. Because if you are like, oh, please help me to do better on the interview, right? Okay, job interview, right? And then like your own self, you don't even care. You dress up like in broken clothing. You're not prepared. You forgot to bring your resume. All that problem. Well, you're not truthfully wanting the job. So, it's like you're not truthful with your God. If you really want that to happen, you will do anything to make that happen. That includes the God's help and your own effort as well. So what's the award or the good stuff for doing so? Well, whenever your God got this check mark of like, oh, something requested got fulfilled, like it came true, right? Whenever that happened, your God is like upgraded a little bit. Every time your God got something achieved, its power will grow. And eventually, up to a point, your God is matured to a stage, then it got more and more powerful, then it will be very consistent with its success rate. That means your God gets more powerful. Whenever you ask the God for something else that you might not be in control of, your God will be able to help you to make that happen with greater powers. Because you have been building up the God. You see, the people from the ancient time do the same thing. Sometimes people will be scammed. Like, like this, okay? This is a common scam. Okay, I have debunked the scam before. I'm telling you it's a scam. Okay? It is like a magic trick. But let me explain to you the wisdom behind this. Okay, just be patient. Listen. So there's this sect where they do a lot of magic tricks. For example, you can make like a tall ladder stand up on one leg. Like the ladder is like 2-leg ladder, okay? And you can make it stand on one leg inside a bowl of rice. This is a physics trick. Anyone can do it. You can make like a sword, a chair, anything stand inside that bowl of rice. It is like a balancing trick. It has nothing to do with the God. If you practice and you learn the trick, you practice a while, you get good at it and you can balance it. Just like people doing rock balancing or maybe like coffee mug balancing on the edge, like that. Things happen, right? Yeah, it's physics. But you know what? In the old days, people will say, like, they will show the audience and say, oh, this is the God helping. The God helped us to do this. It achieved this result. Miracle. And it sounds like so crazy, right? It's like so stupid. Like, why are you believing this is a God? It's obviously a trick. And then someone at the back will like, oh, I can do it too. Yeah, I mean, I was one of them that is debunking these scams. I said, look, I can do it too. But you know why? Like, you don't understand the wisdom behind the thing. Is that they did it on purpose. Yes, you can do it too yourself. That's right. But now I am saying that I did it because the God helped me so I could do it. I gave the credit to the God. You see what I'm doing? I am doing it on purpose. It's like this, okay? Oh, God, please help me to have a safe day. Okay, after a day of work and I come home, I'm safe, right? Well, I can be safe too, even I didn't pray. Yeah, I know. But I'm giving the credit to the God. Like you're doing it on purpose so that the God will get that +1, okay? The God get that +1. That is the way to build the power inside your God. You're investing into the God. So you have to give the God the credit on purpose. I'm not saying that you cannot have a safe day without the God around. I'm saying that, like, okay, like this. You like eating sushi. You like sushi, okay? And then you're going to, like, go down the street and eat sushi. You can also ask the God to help you pick the right food, pick the good choices, and then have a great meal. After eating sushi, I mean, like, you're going to eat the sushi and like it anyway, right? You're like a sushi fan, but it's okay. You did it on purpose. After the meal, you, like, try to make yourself extra happy, enjoying the food, and then you say, hey, thanks God. Because of your help, I got so much happiness from this meal. You become very grateful, and you gave all that gratefulness, the heart energy, the faith, you invest and gave the credit back to the God. The God is just an account. You understand? The God is an account to hold your pre-heaven energies, like your heart power. It's an account. Okay? It's like, okay, some people think, oh, I'm praying to Jesus, and then you automatically believe it's a real person, right? If I tell you, oh, that's not the real Jesus Christ, you'll be like, what? You're like thinking I'm fake or whatever. No, you know what? All the gods out there, even they are like made up gods or they are like historical person, it doesn't matter. Every god is just an energy account. You can see it like that, okay? But in order to communicate with these energy, you must treat it like it is a person, like it's a living being. That's the way to communicate with pre-heaven energy, using your heart with feelings. You have to feel that they are like a real person while they're not a real person, okay? Yeah. It's kind of hard to understand, but that is the truth, okay? You can have a god like Batman, Iron Man, or something you made up, like SpongeBob. Anything works. You have to give the credit to the god. So how do you know that God is good at something? Like, how come they're like, God that is God of wealth, God of something, how come some gods are good at something? You know what? It's actually every god start from the same spot, which is 0. And then you built it, right? So eventually you use this god a lot for business. You use that god a lot for food. You use this God for this purpose. Like you dedicate one account for one thing. And because the kind of energy that you have been investing into the God is the same type, so it becomes very focused and good at the same subject. You see, that's why you have like this God for cooking, God for farming, God for traveling, right? That's how come people build different gods, because it's like different accounts and it keeps it separate. So when you need help, you know where to go for. And eventually the one that is most needed gets famous because everyone go to that God all the time because they always have those needs. Right? And it will be easier for you to think about when I need the God's help because it's like easier to keep track, right? So that's how gods work. You are doing things. Like, some stuff is like, oh, obviously it will work even the God's not here. But it's fine. The thing is, you need to give the credit. You're investing into the God, okay? And then because of that, after that, a while the God matured, the power is enough to, like, sustain itself, and it gets to a point where, it got a lot of power. Then you really need help with something. For example, you got a lawsuit. Then you can ask the God for help, and the God will give you the good amount of power because you have invested in it before. My timer is up, but I would like to OT a little bit today just to finish us off, okay? So, you see, this is what we call San Gong. San Gong is the cultivation of God. And actually, all religions are doing it. All the religions, no matter which one. But you know what? I'm going to give you a little thing to think about, okay? If there is another world, like aliens, okay? Another world. And they have been building up a system of God on their side for a while. And then, they pass it on to you, right? And now you can start with this system with a lot of gods that are already cultivated with a lot of energies inside. Now that's more powerful, right? You might think, wow, so it must be more powerful than the newly created one. You know what? That's not how it works. Why? Because the God from the above, right? They can give you a profile, like a base copy of it. But it is also up to you to cultivate it at your home or in your body. It's like someone have a huge farm of apple tree. They can only give you the apple seed. So you can grow your tree. You see? Everyone are like so into, the more ancient the religion, the better. It's not, okay? It's not like that. Because no matter which religion, you go in, you start fresh, right? They give you a seed. You grow your tree and you have your own fruit. How much you have invested is what you have at the end. It doesn't matter which religion, what sect, my sect, other sect, doesn't matter. Okay? You start with the seed, you invest it properly, correctly, you grow right, you will have what you want. The thing is, some religion or sect, they don't teach you how to grow. Even they are like a big farm, right? Or they don't even know how to grow. So they cannot explain to you how things work, and they don't make it clear to you. And that's the problem. So you're not going to get it because they have the apple farm, but they're not teaching you how to make your own farm. They say, you know what? You come, I give you an apple. Okay? You need help, I give you an apple. That's it. You want to grow a tree? Well, too bad. That's the difference, right? So anyway, my timer is up. So we have to talk about these things again in the next the next episode. So stay tuned. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.